Okay, hello. We are live with the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge for the week of January 30th, the last one in January. We've got 7 players with us today, so we got quite a crowd. I usually put all of us in at a time, but once again, I'm doing it. I'm showing only myself because I'm limited to 6 people we can have in the stream, so I will add them when they get spun. So I hope everyone's had a good week. I hope we're ready. Everybody's ready for some Shakespeare. So anyway, so we'll bring up the wheel with the names. Let me remove the people. So Danielle is back because she didn't make it last week, but I'm glad that she made it back this time. See anybody else? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Who else? I think there's one more person. Maggie's not with us yet. Hopefully Maggie will join us late. Okay, so with the 7 players that are here, I'll go ahead and spin the wheel. Our first monologue today will be performed by Danielle. That's a good welcome back. That we missed you last week, and she gets to start us off this week. Danielle, you still with us?
I am indeed.
Great. Did you want to stick to your own gender or spin the gender neutral wheel?
Gender neutral, please.
Okay. Spinning the wheel for Danielle. Okay, Angelo's. Who will believe thee, Isabel? She threatens to turn this great villain monologue you get to do here. Act 2, Scene 4. It's toward the very end of that scene.
Who will believe thee? Right here. Great. I feel quite sort of taken by surprise first. So, right here. Oops. Who will believe thee, Isabel? My unsoiled name, the austereness of my life, my vouch against you, and my place in the state, will so your accusation overweigh that you shall stifle in your own report and smell of calumny. I have begun, and now I give my sensual race the rein. Fit thy consent to my sharp appetite. Lay by all nicety and prolixious blushes that banish what they sue for. Redeem thy brother by yielding up thy body to my will. Or else he must not only die the death, but thy unkindness shall his death draw out to lingering sufferance. Answer me tomorrow, or by the affection that now guides me most, I'll prove a tyrant to him. As for you, say what you can. My false are ways, your true.
Okay, great job, Danielle. Back to the wheel. Our next monologue will be done by Alex. You're up next.
Great.
Alex, what wheel did you...
Gender neutral, please.
Okay. Okay, spinning for Alex. Okay, so Titania in Midsummer Night's Dream. Act 2, Scene 1. It's approximately 81 lines in. Begins with, these are the forgeries of jealousy.
Act 2, Scene 1.
Let me know when you found it, and then I'll take myself out of the stream.
Just a second. Okay, I found it.
Okay, great. So whenever you're ready.
These are the forgeries of jealousy, and never since the middle summer spring met we on hill, in dale, forest or mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the breached margent of the sea, to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind, but with thy brows thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore the winds, piping to us in vain, as in revenge, have sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land have every pelting river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. The ox had therefore stretched his yoke in vain, the ploughman lost his sweat, and the green corn had rotted ere his youth attained a breath. The fold stands empty in the drowned field, and crows are fatted with the murrian flock. The 9 man's morris is filled up with mud, and the quiet mazes in the wanton green, for lack of tread, are undistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter here. No night is now with him or carol blessed. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pale in her anger, washes all the air. That rheumatic disease do abound, and thorough this temperature we see the seasons alter, hoary heated frosts far in the fresh lap of the crimson rose, and on old Hiem's thin and icy crown, an odorous chaplet of sweet summer baths is, as in mockery, set the spring, the summer, the chilling autumn, angry winter, change their wonted liveries, and the mazed world, by their increase, now knows not which is which. And this same progeny of evil comes from our debate, from our dissension. We are their parents and original.
Okay, good job. I wasn't able to respond in text, but I saw Maggie has just joined us, so I'm really glad that she's here. So I've re-added her to the wheel, so that's great. We got I've put Maggie back on the wheel, so everybody except the people who've already gone are there now. Next monologue will be done by Shelia. You're up next. Shelia, which wheel?
Oh, give me gender neutral.
Okay. So Shelia is going to be performing Julia, before the note. Oh, Hateful Hands from Julia and Two Gentlemen of Rona, Act 1, Scene 2, approximately 110 lines in.
Now, apologies that I do not know the play well enough to know the context. Can somebody throw that away?
The context, I believe, is the lover. I believe Proteus is the one. He's the real snake who is in love with her, and then when he leaves, he then falls in love with Sylvia, and who he tries to take from his best friend Valentine, steal her away from him. But this is early on when Proteus is still courting her, and I think it's the letter that he's given her, and I think pride or something in front of her friend Lucetta. She pretends she doesn't love him. She rips up the letter, And then as soon as she's off stage, I'm going to pick it up and I'll put the letter back together. Now I don't have to pretend. I don't really.
Ah, okay.
She tore up the letter to pretend she didn't. She tore up the love letter pretending she doesn't love him because she doesn't want her friend to see that. And then as soon as her friend's off stage, she picks it up, starts to put the letter back together. The "oh hateful hands" that tore up the letter basically is the context of that.
Got it. Okay, let's. Okay, do I have some paper? I'll grab some paper. I'm ready. Oh, hateful hands to tear such loving words. Injurious wasps to feed on such sweet honey and kill the bees that yield it with your stings. I'll kiss each several paper for amends. Oh, look, here is writ, kind Julia, unkind Julia, as in revenge of thy ingratitude I throw thy name against the bruising stones, trampling contemptuously on thy disdain. Oh, and here is writ, love, wounded Proteus. Oh, poor wounded name. My bosom as a bed shall lodge thee till thy wound be thoroughly healed. And thus I search it with a sovereign kiss, but twice or thrice was Proteus written down. Be calm, good wind, blow not a word away till I found each letter in that letter, except mine own name, that some whirlwind bear unto a ragged, fearful, hanging rock, and throw it thence into the raging sea. Lo, here in one line is his name twice writ. Poor forlorn Proteus, passionate Proteus, to the sweet Julia. Oh, that I'll tear away. And yet I would not, since so prettily he couples it to his complaining names. Thus I will fold them one on another. Now kiss, embrace, contend, do what you will.
Hey, great for having just been given the context of the scene for the first time. And I hope I did okay in summarizing, maybe the other players, if they speak up when it's their turn, so I was trying to recall that, I might not have recalled it exactly correctly. And
no, that was fine. It felt like I was where I was supposed to be. So that was good.
Okay, great. So anyway, back to the wheel. 4 of us have gone. There's 4 that still need to wait. Yeah, 5 of us still need to go. Next monologue. Okay, so I'm up next, and I'll spin the gender neutral wheel. Oh boy, this is Falstaff is real rascally when honors a mere scutcheon, when he's told, Ian the coward, and Prince Hal tells him, we all owe God a life, and he responds with, but it's not due yet. Okay, let me get this here. Act 5, Scene 1. Okay. I owe God a death. 'Tis not due yet. I would be loath to pay him before his day. What need I be so forward with him that calls not on me? Well, 'tis no matter. Honor pricks me on. Yes, but how if honor prick me off when I come on? How then? Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Take away the grief of a wound? No. Honor hath no skill in surgery then, no. What is honor? A word. What is in that word honor? What is that honor? Air. A trim reckoning. Who hath it? He that died on Wednesday. Doth he feel it? No. Doth he hear it? No. 'Tis insensible then, yea, to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Why? Detraction will not suffer it. Therefore I'll none of it. Honor is a mere scutcheon. And so ends my catechism. Okay, thanks everybody. Back to the wheel. We got 4 players. Maggie, Paul, Elizabeth, and Bill haven't gone yet, and the next to perform will be okay, Maggie. Maggie's up next. Hello, Maggie. How you doing?
Good.
Which wheel?
Gender neutral, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Maggie is going to be performing. Hamlet. Oh, what a rogue. I don't think anybody's done this one yet. The second of the 4 great soliloquies Hamlet has. So the very end of Act 2, Scene 2 is where that.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, you have it. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
Thank you. Okay. Whoops. The page is flipping around for some reason. Okay. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage wand, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with forms to his conceit? And all for nothing, for Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy-mettled rascal, peak, like John a Dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king upon whose property and most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pate across? Plucks off my beard and blows it in my face? Tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lungs? Who does this? Does me this? Ha! Swoons I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Or ere this I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's awful. Bloody, bawdy villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain. Oh, vengeance! Why, what an ass am I! This is most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words and fall a cursing like a very drab scullion. Fie upon't! Oh, about my brain! I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have by the very cunning of the scene been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malefactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tent him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. The spirit that I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, and perhaps out of my weakness and my melancholy, as he is very potent with such spirits, abuses me to damn me. I'll have the grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Okay, awesome. Glad
That
to
was
see
fun. Thank you very much.
that's one of my favorites that nobody has done yet. So I'm glad that it came up and that we were able to see you do that one.
Fun to see
And
that turn that he takes too, where it's like coming to him. Like that's
or it
that's
just
really
comes
fun.
up
Thank you.
the plot, the key plot point where it just pops into his head right there in the middle of the monologue. Okay, so we got three players, Bill, Elizabeth, and Paul, who haven't performed yet. The next one of them to go will be okay. So Elizabeth is up next. Gender neutral. Elizabeth?
Yes, gender neutral. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so Elizabeth's going to be doing oh boy, the St. Crispin's Day speech. I think it's been a while since somebody's done this one. So
I love it.
Act 4, Scene 3.
It's so fun because I've been working on this speech with a student of mine and thinking, God, I want to do this speech. It's so good.
You like me to give you your cue of, that we had but one half of the men in England that do no work today, or do you want to just start
No,
with
that's okay. I'll just start. It's long enough.
All right.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready.
Okay, here we go. What's he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland. No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not if men my garments wear. Such outward things dwell not in my desires. But if it is a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. No, faith, my coz, wish not a man from England. God's peace! I would not lose so great an honor as one man more methinks would share from me. For the best hope I have, oh, do not wish one more. Rather proclaim it, Westmoreland, through my host, that he which hath no stomach to this fight, let him depart. His passport shall be made, and crowns for convoy put into his purse. We would not die in that man's company that fears his fellowship to die with us. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that outlives this day and comes safe home will stand a tiptoe when the day is named, and rouse him at the name of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is St. Crispian. Then will he strip his sleeve and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. Old men forget, yet all shall be forgot, but he'll remember, with advantages, what feats he did that day. Then shall our names, familiar in his mouth as household words, Harry the King, Bedford and Exeter, Warwick and Talbot, Salisbury and Gloucester, be in their flowing cups freshly remembered. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispin Crispian shall ne'er go by from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother, be he ne'er so vile. This day shall gentle his condition, and gentlemen in England now abed shall think themselves accursed they were not here, and hold their manhoods cheap, whilst any speaks that fought with us upon St. Crispin's day.
Awesome. In fact, I don't think, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong when it's their turn, but I don't think anybody in this group has done that one yet. I think we've done the three great monologues that Henry has in that play. Is the one you just did last week. Somebody did
Tennis balls, did somebody do recently?
Oh no, tennis ball, that's another good one. Maybe I should try to get that on the wheel too. Last week somebody did Upon the King, and then there's also
right. Mm-hmm.
Those two and Once More Under the Breach, of course, are the three really great ones. But tennis balls is a lesser known one, but that's a good one too. I might consider putting that. Maybe I'll.
Tennis balls is a lot of fun because he's joking at first and then he gets really serious. It's really fun. The students love to do that. Tennis balls.
I'll think about adding that to the wheel.
Cool.
Okay. So the two who haven't gone yet, Paul and Bill. Next up will be Paul. Paul, which wheel?
Yeah, I'll do the gender neutral.
Okay, everybody. So Paul is going to be performing Lady Macbeth, Come You Spirits, and Sex Me Here. And that's Act 1, Scene 5.
Let's see.
You got it?
Let's see. Yes, I have it.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go for it.
The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me with from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop the excess and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visits of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, where'er in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pale thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold.
Okay, awesome. So everyone has Bill was last. He gets, and I believe you like to stick to the male, correct?
Why not?
Well, it's your choice. I'm trying to.
Yeah, why not? The male only. I guess I'll stick with my habits.
Okay, so Paul is going to be doing. I'm sorry, Bill is going to be doing. I know a bank with a wild hut in a Midsummer Night's. Oh, shoot. No, I'm sorry, that's Oberon.
Right, and I think I did this a few weeks ago.
You did this one already? Okay, I'll spin again.
I think I did.
Okay, so we'll spin again. I know somebody did it a couple weeks ago. I couldn't remember who. So soliloquies. We'll cover his first two in one game today. So Hamlet, oh, that this too solid flesh would melt. I did that one a couple weeks ago. That's Act 1, Scene 2.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go.
Ready. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a Jew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Oh, God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie, 'tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent the king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet, within a month, let me not think on't. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, ere those shoes were old with which he followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Okay, it was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
All of us have have performed a monologue at this point. There are 8 players. It means now we'll move on to scenes. So with 8 players, we can do 4 scenes today. So our first 2-person scene will be with Maggie will be one of our performers, and Maggie is going to perform with Maggie and Bill. Okay. So we'll get a 1 male, 1 female scene here. Okay, so Maggie and Bill are going to do Measure for Measure. Isabel and Angelo. That's their first encounter. I think this is the one that I added to the wheel like a week or 2 ago. I believe their second encounter is later, the one that ends with the monologue that Danielle did to start us off today. I think this is I believe this is different. I believe Act 2, Scene 2 is when they encounter them the first time, before we see Angelo's playing hardball and saying, "This is the only way that I'll save your brother's life is if you sleep with me." And I think this is their first encounter. I think this is their first encounter when Isabella is simply pleading for her brother's life and doesn't know what Angelo has in mind or what he's going to have in mind. So Act 2, Scene 2.
Just a little after enter Isabella and Lucio, very likely.
I believe.
Provost says, "God save your honor," and Angelo says, "Stay a little while."
Bill, does that work for you as a starting point?
Yeah, I see that. That'll be fine.
So you can just start with you speak to me, to Isabella, you're welcome. Right.
Okay, so whenever the 2 of you are ready, go ahead and start us off.
Okay. You're welcome. What's your will?
I am a woeful suitor to your honor. Please, but your honor, hear me.
Well, what's your suit?
There is a vice that most I do abhor, and most desire should meet the blow of justice, for which I would not plead, but that I must, for which I must not plead, but that I am at war twixt will and will not.
Well, the matter.
I have a brother is condemned to die. I do beseech you, let it be his fault and not my brother.
Condemn the fault and not the actor of it? Why, every fault's condemned ere it be done. Mine were the very cipher of a function to find the faults whose fine stands in record and let go by the actor.
Oh, just but severe law. I had a brother then. Heaven keep your honor. Must he need die?
Madam, no remedy.
Yes, I do think that you might pardon him, and neither heaven nor man grieve at the mercy.
I will not do it.
But can you, if you would?
Look, what I will not, that I cannot do.
But might you do it, and do the world no wrong? If so, your heart were touched with that remorse as mine is to him?
He's sentenced. It's too late.
Too late? Why, no. I that do speak a word may call it back again. Well, believe this, no ceremony that to great ones longs, not the king's crown, not the deputed sword, the marshal's truncheon, nor the judge's robe become them with 1/2 so good a grace as mercy does. If he had been as you and you as he, you would have slipped like him, but he, like you, would not have been so stern.
Pray you, be gone.
I would to heaven I had your potency, and you were Isabel. Should it then be thus? No, I would tell what 'twere to be a judge, and what a prisoner.
Your brother is a forfeit of the law, and you but waste your words.
Alas, alas! Why, all the souls that were forfeit once, and he that might the vantage best have took, found out the remedy. How would you be if he, which is the top of judgment, should but judge you as you are? Oh, think on that, and mercy then will breathe within your lips like man new made.
Be you content, fair maid. It is the law. Not I condemn your brother. Were he my kinsman, brother, or my son, it should be thus with him. He must die tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's sudden. Spare him, spare him. He's not prepared for death. Even for our kitchens we kill the fowl of season. Shall we serve heaven with less respect than we do minister to our gross selves? Good, good, my lord, bethink you. Who is that has died for this offense? There's many have committed it.
The law hath not been dead, though it hath slept. Those many had not dared to do that evil if the first that did it, the edict infringe, had answered for his deed. Now 'tis awake, takes note of what is done, and like a prophet looks in a glass and shows what future evils, either new or by remissiveness new conceived, and so in progress to be hatched and born, are now to have no successive degrees, but ere they live, to end.
Yet show some pity.
I show it most of all when I show justice, for then I pity those I do not know, which a dismissed offense would after gall, and do him right that, answering one foul wrong, lives not to act another. Be satisfied. Your brother dies tomorrow. Be content.
So you must be the first that gives this sentence, and he that suffers. Oh, it is excellent to have a giant's strength, but it is tyrannous to use it like a giant. Could great men thunder as Jove himself does, Jove would ne'er be quiet, for every pelting petty officer would use his heaven for thunder, nothing but thunder. Merciful heaven, thou rather with thy sharp and sulphurous bolt splitst the unwedgeable and gnarled oak than the soft myrtle. But man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he's most assured, his glassy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as make the angels weep, who with our spleens would all themselves laugh mortal. We cannot weigh our brother with ourself. Great men may jest with saints, 'tis wit in them, but in the less foul profanation. That in the captain's but a choleric word, which in the soldier is flat blasphemy.
Why do you put these sayings upon me?
Because authority, though it err like others, hath yet a kind of medicine in itself that skins the vice off the top. Go to your bosom, knock there, and ask your heart what it doth know that's like my brother's fault. If it confess a natural guiltiness such as his, let it not sound a thought upon your tongue against my brother's life.
She speaks, and 'tis such sense that my sense breeds with it. Very well.
Gentle my lord, turn back.
I will bethink me. Come again tomorrow.
Hark how I'll bribe you, good my lord, turn back.
How? Bribe me?
I with such gifts that heaven shall share with you. Not with fond shekels of that tested gold, or stones whose rates are either rich or poor as fancy values them, but with true prayers that shall be up at heaven and enter there ere sunrise, prayers from preserved souls, from fasting maids whose minds are dedicate to nothing temporal.
Well, come to me tomorrow.
Heaven keep your honor safe.
Amen. For I am that way going to temptation, where prayers cross.
At what hour tomorrow shall I attend your lordship?
At any time forenoon.
Save your honor.
From thee, even from thy virtue. What's this? What's this? Is this her fault or mine, the tempter or the tempted? Who sins most? Ha! Not she, nor does she tempt. But it is I that, lying by the violet in the sun, do as the carrion does, not as the flower, corrupt with virtuous season. Can it be that modesty may more betray our sense than women's lightness? Having waste ground enough, shall we desire to raise the sanctuary and put our evils there? Oh, fie, fie, fie. What dost thou, or what art thou, Angelo? Dost thou desire her foully for those things that make her good? Oh, let her brother live. Thieves for their robbery have authority where judges steal themselves. Why, do I love her that I desire to hear her speak again and feast upon her eyes? What is't I dream on? Oh, cunning enemy, that to catch a saint with saints doth bait thy hook. Most dangerous is that temptation that doth goad us on to sin and loving virtue. Never could the strumpet with all her double vigor, art, and nature once stir my temper. But this virtuous maid subdues me quite. Even till now, when men were fond, I smiled and wondered how.
Okay, great, you guys. So, and our next scene will be Alex. Alex will perform with Paul. So Alex and Paul, we get a two male scene here. Okay, so Alex and Paul are going to do Merry Wives of Windsor, Ford and Falstaff. Do you have a preference for who's going to be Falstaff and who's going to be Ford?
Not really.
I'd like to be Falstaff.
Okay, yeah, I thought you'd say that. I think you asked.
I have the beard.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So so Alex will be Mr. Ford, and Falstaff, the guy that's going after Mr. Ford's wife. Okay. Act 2, Scene 2 is where it's figure out where the two of them alone. Where you see.
Where does it begin?
Pistol. Let's find a good starting point for you guys. I believe it's toward the end of the scene. I'm looking.
Enter Bardolph with Ford disguised like Brooke? Is this where it begins?
Pistol.
And which one was I? Ford or Falstaff? I forgot.
You're Mr. Ford.
Okay. Line 52, right?
What line is it?
52, I think.
So
Are you?
I
Are,
exit Bardoff.
Mhm.
I believe it starts with Ford. It says, "Bless you, sir." Re-enter Bardoff and Ford disguised, but Bardoff doesn't. It says exit Bardoff later, but Bardoff doesn't have a line in there, so we can just ignore him. So So Falstaff, or I'm sorry, Ford is in disguise. I think the idea is he doesn't want Falstaff to know that he's the husband of the woman he's fooling around with, and doesn't want Falstaff to know that he knows.
Okay.
I believe that's the context. So you come in disguise and say, "Bless you, sir." You're talking to the guy that you know is messing around with your wife.
Okay.
So have you guys both got that? You're ready to go?
I'm there.
Okay, so
Okay.
we're ready. Go for it.
God save you, sir.
And you, sir, would you speak with me?
I make bold to press with you so little preparation upon you.
You're welcome. What's your will? Give us leave, drawer.
Sir, I am a gentleman that have spent much. My name is Brooke.
Good Master Brooke, I desire more acquaintance of you.
Good, Sir John. I sue for yours, not to charge you, for I must let you understand I think myself in better plight for a lender than you are. The which had something emboldened me to this unseasoned intrusion, for they say, if money go before, always do lie open.
Money is a good soldier, sir, and will on.
Troth, and I have a bag of money here troubles me. If you will help to bear it, Sir John, take all or half, for easing me of the carriage.
Sir, I know not how I may deserve to be your porter.
I will tell you, sir, if you will give me the hearing.
Speak, good Master Brooke. I shall be glad to be your servant.
Sir, I hear you are a scholar. I will be brief with you. And you have been a man long known to me, though I had never so good means as desire to make myself acquainted with you. I shall discover a thing to you, wherein I must very much lay open mine own imperfection. But good Sir John, as you have one eye upon my follies, as you hear them unfolded, turn another into the register of your own, that I may pass, with reproof the easier, sit you yourself know how easy it is to be such an offender.
Very well, sir. Proceed.
There is a gentleman in this town, her husband's name is Ford.
Well, sir.
I have long loved her, and I protest to you bestowed much on her, followed her with a doting observance, engrossed opportunities to meet her, feed every slight occasion that could but niggardly give me sight of her, not only bought many presents to give her, but have given largely to many to know what she would have given. Briefly, I have pursued her as love had pursued me, which had been on the wing of all occasions. But whatsoever I have merited, either in my mind or in my means, meed I am sure I have received none, unless experience be a jewel, that I have purchased at an infinite rate, and that hath taught me to say this. Love like a shadow flies when substance loves pursues, pursuing that flies, and flying what pursues.
Have you received no promise of satisfaction at her hands?
Never.
Have you importuned her to such a purpose?
Never.
Of what quality was her love, then?
Like a fair house built on another man's ground, so that I have lost my edifice by mistaking the place where I erected it.
For what purpose have you unfolded this to me?
When I have told you that, I have told you all. Some say that, though she appear honest to me, yet in other places she enlarged her mirth so far that there is shrewd construction made of her. Now, Sir John, here is the heart of my purpose. You are a gentleman of excellent breeding, admirable discourse, of great admittance, authentic in your place and person, generally allowed for your many warlike, courtlike, and learned preparations.
Oh, sir.
Believe it, for you know it. There is money, spend it, spend more, spend all I have. Only give me so much of your time in exchange of it as to lay an amiable siege to the honesty of this false wife. Use your art of wooing, win her to consent to you. If any man may, you may as soon as any.
Would it apply well to the vehemence of your affection that I should win what you would enjoy? Methinks you prescribe to yourself very preposterously.
Oh, understand my drift. She dwells so securely on the excellency of her honor that the folly of my soul dares not present itself. She is too bright to be looked against. Now, could I come to her with any detection in my hand, my desires had instance and argument to commend themselves. I could drive her then from the ward of her purity, her reputation, her marriage vow, and 1,000 other her defenses, which now are too strongly embattled against me. What say you to it, Sir John?
Master Brooke, I will first make bold with your money. Next, give me your hand, and last, as I am a gentleman, you shall, if you will, enjoy Ford's wife.
Oh, good sir.
I say you shall.
Want no money, Sir John. You shall want none.
Want no Mistress Ford, Master Brooke. You shall want none. I shall be with her, I may tell you, by her own appointment, even as you came in to me, her assistant or go-between, parted from me. I say I shall be with her between 10 and 11, for at that time the jealous, rascally knave, her husband, will be forth. Come you to me at night, you shall know how I speed.
I am blessed in your acquaintance. Do you know Ford, sir?
I'll hang him, poor cuckolding knave. I know him not, yet I wrong him to call him poor. They say the jealous wittily, a knave hath masses of money, for the which his wife seems to me well favored. I will use her as the key of the cuckoldy rogue's coffer, and there's my harvest home.
I would you knew Ford, sir, that you might avoid him if you saw him.
I'll hang him, mechanical salt butter rogue. I will stare him out of his wits. I will awe him with my cudgel. It shall hang like a meteor o'er the cuckold's horns. Master Brooke, thou shalt know I will predominate over the peasant, and thou shalt lie with his wife. Come to me soon at night. Ford's a knave, and I will aggravate his style. Thou, Master Brooke, shalt know him for a knave and cuckold. Come to me soon at night.
What a damned Epicurean rascal is this! My heart is ready to crack with impatience. Who say this is improvident jealousy? My life had sent to him. The hour is fixed, the match is made. Would any man have told this? See the hell of having a false woman. My bed shall be abused, my coffers ransacked, my reputation gnawn at, and I shall not only receive this villainous wrong, but stand under the adoption of abominable terms, and by him that does me this wrong. Terms! Names! Amanon sounds well, Lucifer, well, Barbasson, well, yet they're devil's additions, the names of fiends. But cuckold, widow, cuckold! The devil himself had not such a name. Page is an ass, a secure ass. He will trust his wife. He will not be jealous. I will rather trust a Fleming with my butter, Person Hugh, the Welshman with my cheese, an Irishman with my aqua vitae bottle, or a thief to walk my ambling gelding, than my wife with herself. Then she plots, then she ruminates, then she devises. And what they think in their hearts, they may effect. They will break their hearts, but they will effect. God be praised for my jealousy. 11 o'clock the hour. I will prevent this, detect my wife, be revenged on Falstaff, and laugh at Page. I will about it. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. Fie, fie, fie. Cackled, cackled, cackled.
Hey, awesome, you guys. I'm able to put everyone in the stream now because unfortunately we've lost a couple people. And it just occurred to me while I was doing. Elizabeth even mentioned at the beginning how she has a thing. The last couple of weeks she's had to leave a little early, but the last couple of weeks it wasn't a problem. We'd already performed her scene and her monologue, but she didn't get spun for, so that means we missed her. I think what I'll do from now on. I was saying earlier that. We were saying earlier that if we ever get large enough that some people don't get a turn because they don't get spun in the time before we run out of time, I mean, that'll be fine. But until we're in that situation, I don't want to leave people out. And I'm thinking what I should have done and what I'll do now is if somebody has to leave early, let me know and I'll just make sure that we'll schedule around that, have you go first. And because especially with the two-person scenes, there would still be the sense of randomness to it, because Elizabeth is going to go in the first scene, but who she's going to perform with would still be a question mark to be determined by the wheel. So I'm kicking myself for not realizing that I should have done that and let Elizabeth go first before we lost her, because since she had to leave early. But remind me to do that from now on if I forget. Like if you have to leave early, let me know that. So anyway, we're back to the wheel now, and we have 4 names left. Now it'll be 3 because I'll eliminate Elizabeth. She had to leave us. So the third scene will be done by. So Danielle is going to perform with me, and then so the second to last scene will be me and Danielle, and then we'll have one more scene that Celia can do with one of the players who randomly will be determined that gets to go a second time. So let's see. Myself and Shelia are going to perform.
No, other way around, dear.
I'm sorry, what?
You and Danielle.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Myself and Danielle. Sorry about that. Myself and Danielle are going to do. Also, Merry Wives of Windsor, Mistress Quickly, and also I think also looks like it's also in this earlier in the same scene, Act 2, Scene 2. Falstaff and the Mistress Quickly. Let's see where we would start here.
So is that with Give Your Worship Good Morrow, Enter Mistress Quickly?
Yeah, it looks like that's the place where we should start. So let's see. Wait a minute. Wait, no, I think I'm. Okay, yeah, that does appear to be the... So intermistress quickly. Yeah, so you start us off with give your worship good morrow.
Give your worship good morrow.
Good morrow, good wife.
Not so, and please your worship.
Good maid, then.
I'll be sworn as my mother was the first hour I was born.
I do believe the swearer. What with me?
Shall I vouchsafe your worship a word or two?
2,000, fair woman, and I'll vouchsafe thee the hearing.
There is one Mistress Ford, sir. I pray, come a little nearer this ways. I myself dwell with Master Dr. Caius.
Well on. Mistress Ford, you say?
Your worship says very true. I pray your worship, come a little nearer this ways.
I warrant thee nobody hears. Mine own people, mine own people.
Are they so? Well, God bless them and make them his servants.
Well, Mistress Ford, what of her?
Why, sir, she's a good creature, Lord, your worship's a wanton. Well, heaven forgive you and all of us, I pray.
Mistress Ford, come, Mistress Ford.
Marry, this is the short and the long of it. You have brought her into such a canaries as 'tis wonderful. The best courtier of them all, when the court lay at Windsor, could never have brought her to such a canary. Yet there has been knights and lords and gentlemen with their coaches, I'll warrant you, coach after coach, letter after letter, gift after gift, smelling so sweetly, all musk, and so rustling, I warrant you, in silk and gold, and in such elegant terms, oh, and in such wine and sugar of the best and the fairest that would have won any woman's heart. And I warrant you, they could never get an eye wink of her. I had myself 20 angels given me this morning, but I defy all angels in any such sort as they say, but in the way of honesty. And I warrant you, they could never get her so much as sip on a cup with the proudest of them all. And yet there has been earls, nay, which is more, pensioners. But I warrant you, all is one with her.
But what says she to me? And be brief, my good she-Mercury.
Marry, she hath received your letter, for the which she thanks you 1,000 times, and she gives you to notify that her husband will be absent from his house between 10 and 11.
10 and 11?
Aye, forsooth. And then you may come and see the picture, she says, that you wot of. Master Ford, her husband, will be from home. Alas, the sweet woman leads an ill life with him. He's a very jealousy man. She leads a very frampold life with him, good heart.
10 and 11. Woman, commend me to her. I will not fail her.
Why, you say well, but I have another messenger to your worship. Mistress Page hath her hearty commendations to you too. And let me tell you in your ear, she's as virtuous, a civil, modest wife, and one, I tell you, that will not miss you morning nor evening prayer, as any is in Windsor, whoe'er be the other. And she bade me tell your worship that her husband is seldom from home, but she hopes there will come a time. I never knew a woman so dote upon a man. Surely I think you have charms. Oh, yes, in truth.
Not I assure thee. Setting the attractions of my good parts aside, I have no other charms.
Blessing on your heart, Fort.
But I pray thee, tell me this. Has Ford's wife and Page's wife acquainted each other how they love me?
Oh, that were a jest indeed. They have not so little grace, I hope. That were a trick indeed. But Mistress Page would desire you to send her your little page of all loves. Her husband has a marvellous infection to the little page, and truly Master Page is an honest man. Never a wife in Windsor leads a better life than she does. Do what she will, say what she will, take all, pay all, go to bed when she list, rise when she list. All is as she will. And truly she deserves it, for if there be a kind woman in Windsor, she is one. You must send her your page, no remedy.
I will.
Nay, but do so then. And look you, he may come and go between you both. And in any case, have a nay word, that you may know one another's mind, and the boy need never to understand anything. For 'tis not good that children should know any wickedness. Old folks, you know, have discretion, as they say, and know the world.
Fare thee well. Commend me to them both. There's my purse. I am yet thy debtor. Boy, go along with this woman. This news distracts me. Okay. That one was a lot of fun.
I love that one.
The wheel really likes Falstaff today, it looks like. And it's funny, I've been Falstaff both times. Something totally different, but I've been Falstaff both times. Interesting coincidence, I guess we call it. So anyway, Sheila is the only one that hasn't gone. It hasn't gone in a scene, so we'll match her with, and let's eliminate the people. Elizabeth had to leave. Bill's had to leave. Caitlin didn't join us. Sheila is going to perform. So the person that's going to go a second time with Sheila will be me. Two scenes back to back. Okay, so spinning for what myself and Sheila are going to do. Same thing. Was that the same thing that just?
It looks like it. Yeah, that's the same one.
Let's spin again. Okay, Demetrius and Helena, Act 2, Scene 1. Let's see where we start for this.
Oh, I get to chase you around. This is fun.
Oh yeah, this is before they put the potion on my eyes, and I still can't stand you, and you're pursuing me. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, that looks like it. Yeah.
I believe that's the context, is where she's pursuing him, who can't stand her, before Puck accidentally makes me fall in love with. Okay. So it starts with you pursuing Fairy and Puck. Okay, so it starts with. So I started off with "I love thee not," therefore.
Yes.
Okay, so if you found that, you're in the right place.
I got it.
Okay. I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll slay, the other slayeth me. Thou toldst me they were stolen into this wood, and here am I, and woed with this wood, because I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant, but yet you draw not iron, for my heart is true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not, in plainest truth, tell you, I do not, nor I cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more. I'm your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me. Only give me leave, unworthy as I am, to follow you. Oh, what worse place can I beg in your love, and yet a place of high respect with me, than to be used as you use your dog?
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much to leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of me that loves you not, to trust the opportunity of night and the ill counsel of the desert space with the rich worth of your virginity.
Your virtue is my privilege. For that it is not night when I do see your face. Therefore I think I am not in the night, nor doth this wood lack worlds of company, for you and my respect are all the world. Then how can it be said I'm alone when all the world is here to look on me?
I'll run from thee and hide me in the brakes and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you. Run when you will, the story shall be changed. Apollo flies and Daphne holds the chase. The dove pursues the griffin. The mild hind makes speed to catch the tiger. Bootless speed when cowardice pursues and valor flies.
I will not stay thy questions. Let me go. Or if thou follow me, do not believe, but I shall do thee mischief in the wood.
Aye, in the temple, in the town, the field, you do me mischief. Fie, Demetrius, your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men do. We should be wood, and we're not made to woo. I'll follow thee and make a heaven of hell to die upon the hand I love so well.
Okay. That was awesome. Glad we had a good round today. I'll remember that mistake about people need to leave early, about making sure that I include everybody. And does anybody have any announcements or anything before we sign off, or anything that they've got going on that online that they'd like other people to know about?
Oh, I just wanted to mention Sofa Shakespeare is ending. I don't know if any of you participated in it already, but the very last one happens to be Hamlet. And they are compiling all of the clips now. I don't know if they have any spots left, but they should have that up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that.
Sorry that's going, but
yeah, it is. Well, she's 6 months pregnant. So good news, her second child. She's very excited, but she's saying it's a little too challenging to try to manage all of this as well. Oh, and Maggie mentioned the spaniel. I and my spaniel are in a scene in Hamlet. I play Horatio, and she plays all the other parts. She's Hamlet's father's ghost, and Marcellus and Bernardo.
oh, that's wonderful. I've been off social media, so I haven't kept up with any of it. I must congratulate her, though. That would be great. May I also mention Shakespeare Republic? If people haven't come across that yet, it's there've been various series to do with Shakespeare monologues, often done in a modern setting, but keeping the language. And the latest one has been during lockdown and reflects lockdown. So each of the characters, you see them in lockdown, and the monologue they have really makes sense with that. And I got to do one. And we just found out it's been winning awards. And we just found out it won the Falstaff Award for Best Film 2020. The Falstaff Awards 2020. So there's some wonderful people in it. I worked with a director from Australia. So that's Shakespeare Republic, All the Webs a Stage, The Lockdown Chronicles. You can find them online for free. So
great. I'll look into that. Anybody else have any other announcements? Okay, well, thank you all for joining us. The people that watched, I hope you enjoyed the show today. We'll be back same time next week. And in the meantime, and I'll probably put, I actually have another thing just a video I'm working on that's Shakespeare related, kind of together voiceover with using one of the monologues to create a video that plan to have that out early next week. But you can look for that on this channel. Otherwise, there's that, and then there's what the other people mentioned, and then there's this next week, same time, and till further notice, every Saturday, the same time. So take care. See you guys next week. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for hosting this.
Thank you. Bye.